Hello and welcome to Sassi Talks. This is the show where we bring you tips for positive lifestyle choices, and this is the monologue for the month of May. It's a summary of the guests that we have had over the last few weeks, and we started the month out with Lisa Bortolotti. It was our very first podcast only episode, so you can also listen to Sassi Talks on the go on Spotify and on other platforms for podcasts. So if you prefer your audio than your visual, head over to Spotify and you can listen to us and follow us over there. So Lisa Bortolotti was talking to us about irrational beliefs, and those irrational beliefs that we have about so many different things that actually set us up in many ways for failure. They may be disguised as rational, but quite often they are actually irrational beliefs. So these could be beliefs that we have about ourselves, about others, ways of thinking, prejudices that we have. And you'll generally know if you have an irrational belief because you don't feel very good either about yourself or about somebody else. And it's an opportunity to challenge the way that you're thinking and challenge your belief system, because if your beliefs are not serving you, there's no reason why you should keep them. So often we grow up with these belief systems from childhood as a part of the way that we've been raised, where we've been raised, how we've been raised, and we can carry these into our adulthood, but we don't have to hold on to them if they just don't serve us. So really interesting episode to start that journey on beginning to change the way that you think and feel about different things and just start to have ideas that serve you a lot better. We also had Lucy Fawkes on the show, and she was talking to us about the misconceptions around mental health, what it is and what it isn't. And she's written a book that really goes into detail about the misconceptions of mental health. And so many people feel the need to label their condition, label the way that they feel by saying I have depression or I have anxiety or I have X, Y or Z. And what I took away from that show was that if it makes you feel better to label your condition and that helps you to package it in a particular way, observe it, look at it, reflect on it, then do that. If that works for you, do that. But if on the other hand, you feel worse by labeling this condition and saying I have depression, I am this, I am that, and that makes you feel a lot worse, then you don't have to do that, because the spectrum for the way that we feel is so broad, and what is depression to one person might not be that for another. So it's really about taking the time to observe with your own self what it is that you are feeling and what serves you, what works best for you in that situation. And it may change from day to day. The way that you feel today may be different from the way you feel tomorrow, and how you want to relate to yourself may change as well, and that is okay too. Be fluid with it, be flexible with it. We try so often to make things very black and white, but actually life is not that black and white, is it? It's a lot of grey in between, and we need to just be able to appreciate that and take things for what they are and see things as they are, and go with the flow. We also had Dr. Chesney on the programme, and she introduced us to a whole range of superfoods that will help to boost your immune system, your mental health, your serotonin levels, can help alleviate depression and anxiety. And I'm not going to tell you what those foods are, you're going to have to go and watch the episode for yourself. But I will just tell you one that I really like, and that is turmeric, because turmeric really helped me through my long COVID recovery. It really seemed to boost my immune system and give me an energy level that I didn't have before. I could start the day feeling very low on energy, and having turmeric in my hot drinks would really make a difference to my day. So that's the only one I'm going to give you. You're going to have to watch the rest for yourself. Actually, that's also a podcast episode, so you can listen to that for yourself on Spotify, but you can watch the episode on YouTube as well as an audio form. So that's what we had this month. We've got a lot more incredible guests coming up over the coming weeks and coming months as we do. It's just one message I want to leave with you for this month, which is not giving up on yourself and not giving up on your projects. I was speaking to a friend, a very dear friend over the weekend, who was feeling really, really overwhelmed with all the things that she's currently got on her plate, working full time and has a number of projects on the side that she's trying to manage. So when she gets home from work at the end of the day, she's effectively starting another job as she's working across all these different things. And she was feeling quite overwhelmed and it was quite exhausting. And I could really, really relate to that. And it reminded me of something that was said to me a while back, which is that if you are feeling fatigue, let's call it project fatigue. If you have project fatigue, you're feeling overwhelmed with all the things that you have on your plate, and it may not be project specific, it may not be work, it just may be your emotions, it might be a relationship that you're dealing with, it may be children that you're working with and it's becoming challenging to work with those children. It could be anything at all that is on your plate that you're feeling overwhelmed with. Let's call it a project. I'm calling everything projects these days. If you've got too many projects on your plate and you're becoming overwhelmed, rather than giving up on your plans and giving up on those projects, take a break. Before you make a decision to give up on anything, take a break. Rest. If you have to sleep for a whole day and reevaluate where you are, what you're doing and what you want to do, do that. Because making a decision or giving up on things when you are not well rested invariably will not work out in your favor. You may end up giving up on something that you really shouldn't have. So rest, take a break, and then step forward. And if you wake up one day and you're feeling like you just don't want to get out of bed because it's too overwhelming, then don't get out of bed. Rest a bit longer. You don't have to get out of bed. You can rest until you feel ready to get out of bed, and just take that time to give back to yourself. And there'll be days when just getting out of bed is enough, and that's your success for the day. So don't feel every day you have to achieve 1,000 things. Just getting out of bed can be enough. That's a success in itself, because there are days when other people won't be able to get out of bed at all for a very long period of time. So if you can do that, that's an achievement. If that's your achievement, then that's good enough. And then with your projects, just do one thing for that project a day. You don't have to see the end goal. You don't have to be able to see to the end of that journey. You only have to make one move a day, not 10, just one. I tell myself that a lot of the times. I want to do 20 things. I have a to-do list with 1,000 things on it, and I feel miserable at the end of the day if I haven't completed 900 of them. You don't have to do 900 things a day. You can just do one thing and be grateful to yourself for having done that, and appreciate what you are able to do on a day-to-day basis. Give back to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's my message for you this month. Have a good rest of the month, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Sassi Talks.